Okay, about this, to get a work all right. Perhaps it were failing in a video before I made them this morning in Buenos Aires. Over perhaps my connections were not really fine. Oh my God. Well, it were needed I to say something else in my American English so special, which lately I caught also a very problem over my phonetics for the same forced that I never needed medications, which neurobloggers brought up to my person a very condition, besides much other. Well, that happens whenever you deal a very criminal squatters organizations in powers by the making of you a less humanity every day. There is somebody all around asking what is happening about my person, what is happening about this all that I suffer so madly, this abominable crap, and what have I done to them? Well, how do I explain this? Whenever you are you, and whenever you do what you gotta do, and you understand that you are not making no crime, but you have the right condition for the making what you do, and you exist the royalty of Israel as you are, means me, and you to become judge and also procurator and also actor in the same United Nations and International Criminal Court, and you have the whole of the endorsement, and not only endorsement but also the qualifying and the quality and the character for the making what you gotta do, and you are all the time cited in a very machineries of hell, sodomites, all Argentina, Kirchner's Sodoma, Babylon, for the destroying you and control it all, and to making machineries by the whole of the witnesses as exists and can giving testimony about who you are and what you do and what you're not, and what exists for real about the whole of the reality and the conditions of the truth, and as truth to really be, and they to murder this witnesses or the ones that can giving testimony and for words about you, and extends the supposed because of the government doesn't allow us to reach out to it, to put him in jail, and the making the processes because of there are a lot of things happening, and whenever there are also International Criminal Court and states in the middle, and with this all says that you are delusional and so hallucinating and so delirious for the just what you say, which it is exactly the truth, and you know that this is a manipulative, disgusting shit of this, whenever there exists only the reality that they are making the right time to manipulate, arm, forge, and disappear people enough for there nobody to can giving no testimony and nothing to be for fail. Understand, nothing for fall, nothing in the middle of the way to put everything back and putting them like the shit they are and being seen exactly that. That is what happens to me in my life. Well, it exists a very similar thing, like I've been using my networks so lately since my first, which were a Hotmail Microsoft account, and I were making so special ways in communications that this disgusting hell shit we're trying to get and we're trying to doing, saying I'm going to take it all off, tell Evangelic to curse him so we can take it all and God can do nothing on us and we do use it. With everything. Also my knowledge and my capacities and my virtue and my reality. Also my spirit. I mean mine. My existence. And to making this abomination with Osvaldo Carnival and Guillermo Horacio Prain, Omar Cabrera, or Carlos Anacondia, Juan Crudo, this machinery of hell with witches all the time and making this profanity about divinatory witchcraft all the time to trying to take out, to read, to taking the whole of the information, the whole of the whatever to be requested and needed for, they do doing the abomination that they existed for. And also place the saviors of the last time of the world. They are going with my being my person, profaning me and making me a piece of a meat, for they do playing the gods of the universe. They are going to be the saviors of the world for the hell. Hell saves now. You know? Did you know that? Did you ever know that hell for Guillermo Horacio Brennan, Osvaldo Carnival, and this abomination, Sodomachio, hell saves now? About them, of course. And you gotta do it. Go and let them do to you, being raped. And we are going to save you after the making the world to God. And after the saying that they are going to win to Yeshua, Mashiach, Elachachai, and to Yahweh, Father, Abba, the Heavenly Father, God Himself. Il presidente del mondo di Lucifere, del diavolo, dell'inferno, with them Sicaria, the whole little shit, the most in activity now has 7 years old, and are demons. And I'm sorry, this is not for the making worse than we already have, because of there's not for the go killing kids all around, please. We know that we are in a very situation, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I was speaking about this, and I said be careful with a very list which International Criminal Court already also published over saying that inseminations, making artificial inseminations over non-human clones, or not completely humans, clones, and playing with the life of people, and sinister about disappearing of mothers and fathers after about 2 to 3 years old, those kids burned. So suddenly, just be careful, an International Criminal Court in New York is going to work with this too, still today. And please be careful, International Criminal Court, please. We know what we are dealing with. So suddenly, happened this reality that I am under this situation, and over these networks that I've been using, my accounts, which this Google Plus, I got it about January or February 2013 to being truth, because if I had already since 2007 around my Gmail, which after a time whenever I started to speaking out loud in the CNNs, in the MSN, and a lot of other trying to posting, I'm found out, and somebody told me, why don't you open a Google Plus and you put everything that you want? And other told me, why don't you do how's this, blogs, sorry, and which I were thinking about making, like to become, after this disgusting hell crap, to saying, to become activist and appointing a lot of people to start making a fight against this degenerates and start to calling for the reality of which it means mental health, and putting scratch it the whole of the degenerates human meat mercaders with psychiatrist titles to make destructions and delivers people into destroying, disappearing, less humanity, rape, massive rapes, murder, and whole generations like Argentina normally does. In pardon for the misappropriate ones, and for the used ones that doesn't has nothing to say about nothing at all, which I'm suffering to. Victims, right? So suddenly, the reality here happens that this informatic tools I've been using, and I have, and also my Pandomicanis, I have it because of the same Gmail account and this Google Plus, which I normally were using before this last tragedy. I came on suffering and symmetry of damages upon me for the less humanity forwarding this Sodoma that generates in Babylon upon my life here in Buenos Aires. Simply like I got it before, because of I used to watching videos and hearing music and the worships and any kind of a music that I will ever like to, or simply reminding, making some posters I don't know, sharing some videos, but not making no much. And suddenly, whenever this started be, I started posting my videos, my personal videos from my Android in the place I were kidnapped, in the pardon for the victims. Also the titled victims. Well, the reality is that Sodoma, Argentina, Federal Police of Argentina, Gendarmeria Nacional, for you to have it, National Gendarmerie, Naval Argentinian Prefecture, and CDE, which is State Intelligence Services, here in Argentina, with others associated, and Sodoma Ejército Argentino, Argentinian Army, started making this, switching out with this divisions that they called informatic felonies, which in the American will be the division of crime of networks or network criminal division. So suddenly, this reality came on being that this abominable crap started making this activity upon me for whatever I'm doing. I mean, making videos like this one. I mean, sending emails, making any kind of activity with my Android, which were a gift from my mother, because of I were stolen from a whole of the jobs that I cannot hold myself because of this disgusting shit takes away my jobs and takes stealing my jobs and my mail from United Nations, from states G20, from ICC, International Criminal Court, and also a lot of other which people trying to help me, and also goes for the hunting them and stealing them and making an abomination hell about them lives whenever they were only trying to help me, abusing and allegating us, telling with forgeries and liars that generates that everything is about narcos, that I will be a narco with my narco supposed family and with my supposed narco living, and I will making the narco business and also people, street and the traffic, and I will making crime, organized crime and terrorism about this disgusting shit permanently says, but in local I am so totally delusional that I was hallucinating about this, all I say. Of course, also. That's how Israel knew me and knew the reality of me, also United States of America and a lot of other states. Because of they said, oh, this is so terrible thing and terrible one, let's help them. And whenever they started the research and find out what I were doing and who were I for the reality, they wanted to kill them all, and so started to murder peoples of states. Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, Aníbal Fernández, Néstor Kirchner, and Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Armed Forces Argentina, and a lot of victims inside this. Well, so suddenly there exists this kind of a tragedy that they works on all the time and makes, like to make in switching of certainly characters of the whatever you to write or whatever you to do, like this video now. Switching the email, switching the registering of the software, switching any kind of a thing that could implies that this were made and manufactured by the same person that presents it. You know, so suddenly this kind of a draw chance comes to making the switching of that and making double shaped mirrors. And whenever you send and whenever you put and whenever you do, there switches out like in a very double mirror. Instead, what you have done, which belongs to you, damns and says that you, also means me, stolen and forged, which they are doing, and also switches faces and images with virtual software of image and video processing and designing, like using porn and a lot of other. I'm sorry for this, but a lot of crimes are known. Further, any kind of an arguments that we already know enough. Well, really, this situation came to be a disgusting, permanent harassment and criminal intent upon my life, and permanently forging judicial and policial here in Buenos Aires and telling that I will live off this and everything I got to be forgery. And they have done until this last day, which Israel at last have proved or can the same US and the same Switzerland. The reality of I'm Maiden and this disgusting crap makes the switch and sense like if there will be them and saying that I'm stealing to the government for they to proceed into the less humanity upon my life and my family and my rest of friends and everybody's reaction on me as even generation complete, and making this time for the saying we are researching an international criminal code doesn't allow us, and neither the state when they call to selecting keep on going to selecting the ones to murder for they to forward and saying at last we got it, whenever everybody to be guilty and nobody to give no testimony, I will ever be just the center of the universe of the hell for they to say we are the cyber gods of the hell. Sodoma. This is exactly what I am suffering, and not only myself. And also making to my mother and my friends' mothers, we did this Nativa Nación, which we call here the Argentinian Republic of Argentinian National Bank, Banco Nación, Argentina, the retired credit cards and debit cards, which my mother uses to buy supplies in any market around, and also some clothes and some elements or purchase or any kind of a thing that can be able this maestro card of debit, and also the credit card, and making switches to saying that this card that she got is forged. The same with the mothers of my friends, and saying that everything that they got is forged, and we're so help and a net of criminals inside of the National Argentinian Bank helping and supporting for this kind of a things, and we, the whole of the mothers of my friends and my mother and our families, to being organized crime with me, with us. And everyone to cleaning and murder inside of the National Argentinian Bank to being replaced by Sodoma Ejército Argentino for there to taking the whole of the country and making the whole abomination, keep on making the same thing and to establish the whole of the orders like they says and saying everything like we say all the time, like Christina Kirchner said and third. Everything we find out like our fellows of the forces said to be. We knew all the time with the whole of the disgusting shit Sodoma forgery. And all liars and degenerates in taking positions by making less humanity in the whole of the disgusting government that pretends of being this. Christina Kirchner were always a fraud and were always a degenerate and an abomination and a damn cycle. Even Aníbal Fernández and damn disgusting Nestor Kirchner were damn cycles and are all 666, which exists as shamefully for a lot and painfully for us all. The disgusting El Presidente del Mundo, abominable degenerate little shit. And it's what we are suffering and it's what we are going through. And I'm sorry about my words, but it's exactly so true, like no other. So I'm going to set this for now, and I'm going to set this English talking, which is mine. I do speak English, I read English, I write English, and I should widen my vocabulary in a lot of words and also getting better my grammar. So of course I have to. I am not living English. I'm just using English, which I try to leave it, but not in the place that I should be. So I'm going to set this at this December 8th, 2013, this 13:12 noon Buenos Aires. And well, this is it, and I have a very hell of a time around this hell of a city in the pardon for the victims and innocent salad. And I donate to help us all. And I'm sorry my misproper, my non-bestest words, like to say.